Hey there, Truth Seeker. Welcome to our channel and community where we focus on developing the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to accelerate your ascension into the fifth dimension and beyond. This is Season 2, Episode 1, our first reading for 2023. For those returning, welcome back, and a massive hello to our new subscribers and listeners. We appreciate you. My name is David Keratin. I am a 13-sign astrologer, indigo warrior, and EDM DJ. Feel free to check out our playlist linked below. My partner, Sana, and I work together with 13-sign astrology. Today, we will both narrate this fascinating reading. For disclosure, we subscribe to the Astro app platform, although we are not affiliated with them for marketing. Before we go further, what can you expect from today's reading, and what is our channel about? For starters, our guiding principle is that the beginning of wisdom is to know thyself. To contribute to this, we explore and interpret the 13-sign astrology system, which includes the constellation of Ophiuchus, the archetype of the divine feminine in the age of awakening. Astronomically, the southern part of Ophiuchus sits between Scorpius to the west and Sagittarius to the east. Known as the Snake Bearer and Golden Eagle, Ophiuchus is located opposite Orion, the home of Saturn. This reading is specifically about the Gemini Full Moon occurring on Saturday, January 7, 2023 at 12:07 p.m. New Zealand Daylight Time, where we are located. For those in the United States, this equates to 6:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time the day before. Aside from the Sun in Sagittarius and Moon in Gemini, the supporting cast includes Kronos, Hades, Sirius, Mercury, Uranus, and Chiron. Kronos is the Lord of Time. Often seen with a sickle in tarot cards, Kronos is considered the Grim Reaper who comes to collect when our time is up. With this said, we will examine each of these archetypes in further detail within the overall theme of time and tyranny emerging at this full moon. We will also identify the 6 struggles or shadow structures impeding humanity. By naming these barriers and blocks to ascension, you can confidently recognize where they are manifesting in your personal experience and seek to transmute their effect. Time as a concept derives from the Germanic and Old English word timar, related to tide. Tide is defined as the alternate rising and falling of the sea each lunar day. We are speaking here about cycles and the cosmic intelligence that orchestrates these movements. Tide also means a surge of feeling or unstoppable trend, as in the tide of opinion. Time and tide wait for no one is a proverb containing multiple metaphors about waves of emotion and the sea of consciousness. Tides refer to how we feel, where time measures what we do. The moral of the time and tide story is to take chances and make use of every opportunity we receive. The other insight coming into view at this full moon is about tyranny and the Kronos archetype. Tyranny, from the late 14th century, means cruel or unjust use of power and the rule of a tyrant. It derives from the Greek tyrannos and Latin tyrannus, meaning lord, master, monarch, or despot. These are shadow expressions of Kronos that manifest in the individual and collective ego. Time, as we know it, is dissolving, swept up in the tides of change. Everywhere there is enlightened discussion occurring about the true nature of time. Some proponents suggest that we in the West are out of alignment with natural time, which is 13 lunar months of 28 days. 364 days with 1 day to reset, reconfigure, restore, and regenerate. one day to acknowledge the source of all life. Consider this. Octa or octo in ancient Greece means 8, yet October is considered the 10th month of the year in our modernized systems. Septem in Latin means 7, yet September is the 9th month under the Gregorian calendar. Decem in Old English, which gave rise to the term décembre in Anglo-Norman France, means 10. In Ethiopia, the 13th lunar month is called Pagume, which loosely translates to water. This is a time when a ritual is performed to purify one's body of evil deeds. When Ophiuchus is reintroduced to the astrological mosaic, the 13th month becomes Pisces, a water sign. There are 13 primary constellations called the ecliptic. This means that the true zodiac relates to the time the sun spends in each of the 13 principal constellations. For example, 24 days in Aries, 44 in Virgo, 19 in Cancer, and just 6 in Scorpio. Of course, the implications of this for star sign interpretations is huge, with many people unwittingly following an incorrect system. The tyranny of time, put in place by Pope Gregory VIII in October 1582 via the Gregorian methodology, and before that the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD with their Julian configuration, has caused humanity to be misaligned with our divine design template. Natural time does not need human overlays. The Nicaea Council and Pope of Rome are control structures represented by the Kronos archetype. Time, tides, and tyranny. With this in mind, let's go deeper. In some Kabbalistic and older theological schools, the star Sirius is the archetype of enlightenment. Others will say that it is the planet Uranus. At this full moon, we can go either of two directions to access these transformative energies. Enlightenment refers to the removal of dimness or blindness from one's eyes or heart. It also means to supply with intellectual light. Derived from the Latin and Greek en, what we are talking about here is the concept of photons that illuminate, brighten, or clarify. A photon is an elementary particle that is quantum in nature. It holds electromagnetic energy such as light and sound waves. With the Sun conjunct Mercury representing our mind in trine to Uranus, and the Moon representing our soul in conjunction to Sirius, enlightenment about our human history, as well as our own personal soul journey within the 9 planes of existence, is available now. In practical terms, flashes of insight or inspiration will come out of nowhere, so be ready to move forward, around or through obstacles and blockages you may have been dealing with. Expect eureka moments caused by spontaneous mental emotional integration occurring on the etherical plane that sparks new connections within your brain and meridian structures. Supporting this incredible opportunity for emancipation and freedom is the Sun and Moon in a T-square to Chiron, the archetype of deep spiritual emotional trauma that we carry within our genome and physical bodies. Chiron, currently in Pisces, the sign of dissolution, signals that dark soul memories and troubling karmic baggage can be rehabilitated, finalized, removed, or transformed. The Sun carries the signature of our personality, while Mercury represents our mental processes and programming. The Moon is the archetypal repository of our past life memories. When we combine these energies with Chiron and Pisces, we can finally integrate the disconnected and disparate parts of our divine self that extends in multiple directions through time and space. To be clear, soul or moon memories are fragments of experiences floating in the ether that can be reintegrated into our conscious awareness. This is how we overcome victimhood and the need for a saviour. Now we will hear from Sana.
Until recently, effective past life regression or psychological analysis has been nearly impossible. Why? Because vital etherical information has been sectioned off by principalities and powers operating from the astral plane. These dark entities realized that a divided human, kept divorced from his or her soul memories and higher self, could be corralled and controlled. The symbol for Kronos is the cross of matter with the moon over the top, indicating the protection and care of those under one's authority. This is an important point. With the moon conjunct Kronos, we are being tasked with confronting our emotional addiction and attachment to authority figures obsessed with trinkets and titles. Self-absorbed bullies who claim to be invested with the leadership gene or bloodline are to be rejected. Assisting with this restorative process is Hades, the archetype of transformation. His role is to help us shed those parts of us no longer in alignment with our evolution. To set the scene, there are 6 aspects of our shadow nature we are referring to here that must be transmuted before we can reach enlightenment or the causal plane. If any of these are manifesting in your life, now is the time to acknowledge them, forgive yourself, modify your behavior, and make different choices. These 6 shadow entities have been exploited via the astral plane by nefarious entities hell-bent on keeping us blind, dumb, and stupid. All 6 issues lead to emotional, mental, physical, or etherical bindings. They can be loosened and removed at this full moon with intention and awareness. Number 1, alienation, which shows up as feelings of anger, hatefulness, aggression, and desire for revenge. Number 2, a sense of rejection or imposter syndrome. This manifests as feelings of despair, misery, shame, and humiliation. Number 3, the victim-savior complex, which is where we seek out individuals or practices we believe can save us from ourselves. Playing a victim leads to passivity, short-term gain but long-term pain. Number 4, service to self. This is the notion that life is about survival of the fittest in Darwinian Hunger Games. We see this low vibration gripping humans throughout society. The emotions here are pride and scorn. These individuals demand you pay attention to their overinflated egos. Number 5, leaders and lords. This is where we look to those with expertise, charisma, and power. They are politicians, CEOs, scientists, men and women in white coats, clergy, celebrities, sports stars, and billionaires. They may also be teachers, academics, and gurus. If you are waiting for someone to tell you what to do, this influence may be showing up in your life. Number 6, fear. This manifests via self-destructive tendencies, such as blaming and shaming. The Chiron archetype contains these mechanisms. The good news is that they can be cleared. As we conclude, let us reflect. The 13-sign astrological system contains puzzle pieces that help us interpret individual and collective experiences. 13-sign astrology is ancient knowledge that has been kept secret to all but the insiders who have used it for themselves. These insights, once applied to your life, can have profound impacts on how you perceive and interpret your reason for being. For those of us contemplating and considering what creative contribution we can make as the 3rd dimension collapses, now is the time to go inwards, in mindfulness and meditation, to clarify your ideas. We know we are swimming against the tide of popular astrological opinion. However, This is how we develop character strength and resilience. The theme of this full moon is time, tides, and tyranny. Kronos, representing traditional time and the control structures associated with that, is under pressure. With his conjunction to Hades, that which we comprehend about Gregorian, linear, or logical time can be transformed. We are being tasked with examining and uncovering emotional attachments and soul memories that diminish our experience of a full, expansive life. This is the moon in action. Right now, the stars have aligned to expedite rapid shadow work. Energetically, the opportunity to experience mental, emotional integration on the etherical plane is available. This manifests as increased consciousness, expanded intellectual capacity, and a profound sense of emotional intelligence. This is the Chiron energies at play. Meanwhile, Sirius and Uranus offer complete clarity so you can see things as they are. The parable Time and Tides Waits for No One has a message for us. Tides will flow regardless of what we do. They are unstoppable and powerful. You can choose to ride the waves of change or be swept away by them. As the astral realms are cleared of nefarious parasites by source consciousness, lifetimes of suppression are over. Control structures that have kept us from experiencing our divine design are collapsing. Now is your time to step up and be counted. When we actively clear karmic debris, trapped emotions, and toxic soul memories through conscious attention and light-filled therapies, we give ourselves the opportunity to transcend to the causal plane. It is here, in the causal realm, that you move mountains. There are 3 types of people on the planet: those that make change happen, those that watch what is happening, and those who wonder what's happened. Which one are you? Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. You will also find us on Facebook at David Keratin. Namaste. This has been a production of Star Kittens Media. All rights are reserved.